Asistio podcast. Welcome to another episode of the Asistio podcast. And right now, I'm talking to someone that I really look up to. One of my inspirations. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Gary Valenciano!
Hey everyone!
Mr. Pure Energy.
Hi. When I met her about 5 years ago in a thing called the Elements Camp.
Yes.
And she was the crush of everyone.
Oh my God!
Crush of everyone. Like everybody would say,
Hindi naman
uy, ang galing niya.
everyone,
No,
grabe.
ang galing niya. Uy, pero sino ba yung isang ano? Si Abby Asistio.
I didn't expect that award,
Well,
the awards.
I did because I would hear people talk.
Oh,
But everybody
thank you.
loved this girl because there's a lot that she has to share, a lot that she'd like to just share with people. And it's not to flatter her or anything, but it's good to have people like that around.
Oh, thanks, Tito Gary. And
Okay.
speaking of the Elements Camp, Tito Gary was one of our mentors there. And ang galing kasi he was able to share with us not just his knowledge, talent, skills about music, but even his vision as an artist and why he's doing this. Has this always been something that you wanted to do growing up?
In the music industry, I remember one of my best friends, Tats Faustino. When we would hear songs on the radio, we would always listen to the sounds that the artists would use, and we would always tell ourselves, what if one day we could create that kind of sound? Let's say, for example, the song of Human League called Human. I'm only human, of flesh and blood I'm made. But the background was how did they do that? So that was always something that crossed our minds na sana someday we could do something like that. And then it came to pass.
But you were all performing during that time already.
I was performing early because I was part of the Kundirana
Oh yes,
of
of
LaSalle Green
course.
Hills. So high school pa lang, I was taught how to perform. I was taught how to blend a lot of things, stage presence, how to just interact with people. It was very important for us to learn that at a very young age. High school, last year in high school, doon ako humataw. And then it kind of went on to college and one after the other. Now, mind you, there was no internet. There were no
Yes.
cell phones at that time. So it was all word of mouth. Uy, si Gary Valenciano. Yeah, he's the batchmate of my cousin's brother in LaSalle Green Hills. So then I would be invited to Assumption, Marinol, UP, Ateneo, UST, all of
Wow.
these places. And that's how I built up the following until I came out in Immaculate Conception. That's when I really felt that people were appreciating not just the performer, but they appreciated the song interpreted by the performer. This was a song written by Juan Miguel Salvador, arranged by Ryan Cayabyab, called Magkaisa. Idilat ang mga mata, masdan mo ang mundo. And so when I sang that in Ika, mind you, I was put in the middle of the show. Kasi it was either I was put in the very first part of the show or the very last part of the show. And when I talk about last, it's yung wala ng tao.
Hindi yung,
Yung
and
uwi
ladies
na-
and gentlemen, last but
no,
not
I didn't have a name. Nobody knew me.
Oh,
So
okay.
they would put me there. But this one I was part of a program. And that's when I heard the authentic cheers from the fans. They really liked the fact that I was singing something that had a message to it.
Oh.
And they liked the way I did it. So that kind of lent itself to me wanting to pursue a career in the music industry.
How did you transition to mainstream?
I performed in Miriam College, which then was known as...
Mata.
Oh, you're from there?
Yes, I'm a Noller.
Wow, I didn't know that.
I'm a Marinola.
Okay.
Just like Tita Angeli.
Correct, and that's what happened. I was performing in Marinol or Miriam College, and her brothers were saying, "Why don't you come over and check this guy out from the Kundirana?" I performed that song, Idilat ang mga, and then I did another song called 100 Ways by James Ingram, and Somewhere
Oh,
Down
that's
the
a
Road.
nice song.
And then she walked up to me after that, and to make a long story short, she just said, she believed in what I had, and she wanted me to perform for their manager because she was a part of another musical group called Music and Magic. Yeah, this was with Kula Desma. So again, one after the other, things just fell into place. I auditioned for Sandra Chavez. I was accepted, and then
How would you describe the journey from being there to when you were discovered to who you are right now?
the journey to get from there to where I am today is nothing less than, number one, miraculous. Number two, it's very memorable. It's almost as precious as the Lord giving me my sons and my daughter, because it really is something I did not expect. To have been around for 2-3 years, maybe that would have been okay na. 33 years and
Wild.
still going, being able to be a part of something like this, with all of this technology, it's beyond good, beyond what words can say. I have stories to tell that if I told people about it, they'll either shed a tear or they'll go, what? Or they'll go, no, really? Because it's really that kind of a journey. From my health issues to the most successful concerts to the most palpak concerts I've experienced.
There were palpak ones.
Imagine being in a gym where they took out all the seats because they wanted it to be full packed. And then 57 people arrived. That's right. 57 people. And that's all I had in front of me. Now, that's quite an experience, But that was early on in my career. Or how about performing and then I have cramps, in my legs and nobody knows about it? It's just
But
I'm,
you have
I'm
to just
skimming the
perform
surface here.
it. One thing that I learned from you, Tito Gary, is regardless if there's a full arena or just 57 people in a gym or one person, you give your 100% every time.
You have to. Because especially when it's a smaller crowd, they're giving you their attention 100%. Why should you give them anything less in return?
In terms of your direction as an artist, has that always been your vision and your goal? When I do something, I always want it to be positive and something that would be relevant to the lives of the people.
Yeah. That's been my goal ever since because of the Kundirana. It started then. I used to think that it started when I first came to know the Lord in 85. But it really started with the Kundirana because we were taught how to bring joy to others through music. Which means, why are you bringing joy? If they had enough of it, then you won't have to do it. It's obvious that even up to today, people who come to concerts, whether they are pop concerts, rock concerts, rave concerts, whatever, people are going there to have fun, to escape from something that's outside the venue that they will have to face after. But why am I there? I took on the challenge of being able to speak to people at the point of their need. And so far it's been effective naman because up to now I still get the requests for these songs.
Yeah.
I started out as a
They're
pop
timeless.
artist.
Timeless
Yeah,
songs.
they become like that. I guess because even if you sing a song that catered to a person's situation before, maybe that person is facing another situation and the song still applies.
Yeah.
So songs like Take Me Out of the Dark, Could You Be Messiah, Gaya ng Dati, Natutulog Ba ang Diyos, all of these songs are played again and again because people face the same situations or new situations that the songs still apply to.
One of my favorite things that I heard from Tito Gary was during Elements Camp. You were talking about how stars aren't just meant to shine, but they're meant to guide people. And with your songs, I guess in whatever state, in whatever season we are in, it's that one song that would serve as a guiding force for them.
Oh my God, Abby, there are so many people that come up to me. Let's say after the show, people come backstage, and they want to talk to you. Then you have this one person that talks to you and says, that song, let's say Gaya ng Dati, that song really spoke to me. And I didn't even do that song that night. And yet they come up to you and say, that song really did something to me. By the way, this is my wife, this is my kid and all. That song changed me at the time when I needed to make decisions like this. The song served as not a song from a superstar, but a song that ended up becoming the star to guide somebody to make a right decision in the midst of the darkness that that person might have been facing.
For the full podcast episode, visit abiasistio.co.